So shifting into working like a woman really requires you to embrace the feminine, right? There is a huge narrative that we've been conditioned within in our work culture, which states unknowingly, right? It's just kind of like a agreed upon thing that no one's really openly ever stated. But it states that the masculine energy rules the public sphere. It rules the work world. And the reason for this is because men were there first. Like if we go back hundreds of thousands of years, the men went to work, the women stayed home, the women were in charge of the domestic sphere. And so those energetics of how we show up in those spaces are really dominated by the group of people who, created those spaces. Does that make sense? So when we look at those spaces, it is a dominant masculine energy. And so we can also call the way that we've been conditioned to do success or strive for goals a masculine model of success. Okay. It is very much in this linear approach of this 9 to 5 focus time frame, and the hormonal system of the man is what it is aligned with. Okay. So, of course, actually changing how you're showing up in that environment where you've been so conditioned to do it one way is going to take some time. And on top of that, because the feminine has been so rejected in this space specifically, which means any kind of time where you felt like, oh, I don't want to be in certain feminine qualities. I don't want to be too emotional. I don't want to be too feely in this space. I don't want to dress a certain way that makes me stand out. I want to be respected the same way that my male counterparts are. I want to be at eye level and equal to them. All of those things that we've thought is actually us as women changing our energetic makeup in that space in order to be more like men. Does that make sense? And of course, there was a time and place where that was necessary because we needed to compete. We wanted to create that equality. But now what it's actually doing is it's creating more burnout. It's creating more stress. It's creating more disconnect from who you really are. And it's preventing you from actually being your most productive and successful self. And serving that into the world, into your community, back into the office or the company that you work for, back into your business, right? Like you being able to show up as your best, most productive and aligned self is actually going to be of service to everyone else. Okay. So really practicing reclaiming the feminine is so important when you feel like she doesn't have a space in the workplace, right? Like this part of you is just not allowed to exist there. And I actually go into this in so much depth inside my signature cyclical sacred success course, Rest for Success, because this is a vital part of actually being able to work like a woman. If you feel like this is wrong, if you feel like you're not allowed to do this, if you feel like it won't be accepted or you don't accept it to an extent, that is going to continue to block you from actually unlocking this power and wisdom and being able to work with it to your advantage. Okay.